Morning and welcome, Patriot Radio News Hour. Joe and Jason on this Wednesday, and I hope it finds you well on this hump day as, I don't know, man, we get more crazy news every single day now. Is there a peace deal? Is there not a peace deal? I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. Iran says no. I don't know what to believe. So here's all I know. The longer this goes, the harder it's going to be, and the worse it's going to be. Our toll-free number, 800-951-0592. It is Wednesday, so we will update everyone on Text-It. The text line will be open at 877-536-1360. We'll get into that in just a little bit. Yesterday, kind of after the markets closed on Israeli TV, we said that there was a proposal, and kind of leading to believe that the war, there's going to be a ceasefire and all this great stuff. Today, Iran's like, yeah, we don't even know who you're talking to. Now, that could be BS, right? We don't know. But it appears that this list of 15 things that apparently were going to be on the, I guess, the for grounds for a ceasefire kind of looks like a total non-starter. To be honest, this morning, Iran does not accept the ceasefire, and they in turn said, we'll see your 15 conditions and we'll raise you 5. So here's where it stands right now. You're now part of those conditions, right? End your nuclear program, turn over dig it up. I don't know, the enriched uranium, the 60% enriched uranium, stop all, funding of like Hamas, Hezbollah, give up control of the Strait of Hormuz, and all. It was a big list, right? Listen, I get it, right? That's kind of a list that I was supposed you'd make sense. Of course, none of that, I was like, most of that, you're like, yeah, they're probably not going to agree to any of that, right? I could see them saying, yeah, you can have the enriched uranium, here you go, whatever. But a lot of that other stuff was wishful thinking, unless you have a totally different regime in power. So Iran responded today with their 5 things. So their list a little smaller. A halt to aggression and assassinations by the enemy. Establish a concrete mechanism to ensure that the war is not reimposed on the Islamic Republic. Guarantee a clearly defined payment of war damages and reparations. So, yes, the Iranians, they want a check to go with it. The conclusion of the war across all fronts and for all resistance groups involved throughout the region. And international recognition and guarantees regarding Iran's sovereign rights to exercise authority over the Strait of Hormuz. So those were the 5 conditions by the Iranians, and I'm sure all of you can do what I'm doing. I don't know. Right? Jason, I have no idea. Is there really a negotiation going on? Is there not a negotiation going on? Anybody's guess. But like I said, everything changes at the end of the week, regardless of whether there's a negotiation or not.
Yeah, if that ends with sanctions no longer on Iran, then the entire war was an economic magic show, and we'll have this higher oil. We'll have used up a bunch of supply, And then the Iran card can be played anytime they need some inflation and oil's being stubborn. I mean, look at all the oil that they're trying to just move out of the system during this whole thing. And those are the reports we've been given day after day, right, Joe? We're emptying out this country, that country. We're emptying out the supply. Where boats are stuck. A couple of these boats are getting sunk, and the oil's, dumping out. I mean, where's all the environmentalists screaming and hollering about the oil that's in the Strait of Hormuz right now? No one seems to care about that, right? I mean,
no one said anything. I haven't heard anything anyway.
Why aren't they on a boat out there right now?
Right, sopping it all up or whatever it may be.
It sure seems interesting, Joe, that if there is some sort of a peace treaty, if it actually happens, and it all ends with Iran gets to have commerce with their neighbors again. It's very Venezuela-like. It's just a different place, different situation.
Yeah, we'll have to see what happens. Yesterday, we did have a terrible 2-year auction. You don't see bad auctions usually in the smaller dated securities market. The largest tail in over 3 years. Remember, tails are bad. Dealers taking down the biggest supply, that's bad. Obviously the yield shot much higher, almost hit 4% on the 2-year note yesterday. But when we get back, I'm going to give you another economic report, an update on the market, and then we'll get into Texas. We're back here, Patriot Radio News Hour, Joe and Jason. Our toll-free number, 800-951-0592. Let's just take a quick look at the market. It is off of its highs as, once again, the Iranians are denying any types of negotiation and claiming the United States is negotiating with itself. I hope that's not true. But apparently the Dow right now is only up 200 points. It started up 500, but it's up. The S&P's up 30. The Nasdaq's up 180. The 10-year note 10-year note closed right at 440. That's kind of the line people are saying, 10-year note above 440, and things start getting really bad. Right now it's down to 434, but it was at 430 3 hours ago. So we'll watch there. Crude oil was off $5 or $6. Now down $3. And again, we will keep watching. Gold, here we are, right? We keep saying get gold before any of this dust settles. We actually want to be buying gold when there isn't clarity. Because when there is clarity, gold's going to roll. Right now, gold's up 75, 45.50. So today, $20 gold pieces, 46.50. Obviously, we'll go with the price of gold. Silver up about $1.50 here, closing in on $73. As again, everybody was hopeful that maybe there was some peace deal. The Iranians did say, you're not going to fool us again, right? Because remember the last time this was happening, they were actually talking, and we had said, oh, yeah, we got more talks scheduled for next week. And then we took out the supreme leader. So Iran's kind of saying, hey, we're not going to fool me once, shame on me, fool me twice, shame on you type of a thing. So we'll have to watch for that. And then today we did get import prices. And this was a February number. So this is another number before the war. It wasn't good. Jumped 1.5% month over month. By the way, the third straight monthly rise, by far the biggest monthly rise, the biggest jump in import prices since March of 2022. And, Jason, it really was across the board. RAM, memory prices dominating. So we already told you there's going to be a problem with chips because of the helium. The price for chips was already going much higher before we had this helium issue. So, Jason, it just looks like, now the Dow may be going negative here now. So we'll keep our eye on it. But it just looks like that all of the prices were rising before the war, and now I think no matter what happens here, it does not appear. I'm just saying, I don't think this whole peace thing is real. Doesn't appear to be anyway. I think inflation is going to start to look really bad here really soon.
We're going to have to see. I know it's like a broken record.
We don't know. You're right. We don't know.
We just don't know. There's so many financial funny games going on right now. And the one thing about all of this and the way that everything's going, it sure seems like there's a timing. It seems like there's the way things blow up and the way the things are passed. I mean, even look at the stuff that got passed last year. The stuff that got passed last year, which is the spending that's going to happen this year. How much of that was, hey, by the way, we're going after a couple of countries next year, so let's get some spending in before, so we don't built in, right, Joe? And it does take a little while for that spending to actually really cause the inflation. I mean, the COVID spending started in 2020, and then there was more passed in 2021, but the majority of it was passed in 2020. The inflation didn't happen for a year, and that was huge spending. And with war is a little different because you kind of expel and get rid of some stuff. It kind of cools off inflation in some ways because you're getting rid of stuff, right? So I don't know, Joe. I mean, is this part of this war, how important it is to cool how big this inflation is going to happen, and will we see it by summer, or is it going to be more like autumn or winter, or late this year, early next year? Because it took that COVID. You think the COVID inflation would have happened quick because a lot of people were still at home all year, right, Joe? They were at home all year getting free money, and it still took till 2021 for suddenly the used car market to become the most profitable sector to be in with all that inflation, right? So it's a matter of time. I mean, sometimes you have to bake the cake, right, Joe, before it gets hot.
Yeah, and again, really quickly for us here, we have oil, have a lot of oil. Cushing, Oklahoma had a nice build this week, at least according to the data. Venezuela, the largest amount of imports from Venezuela since 2019.
All in dollars. It's all in dollars.
All right, oil in dollars here. So I guess if there's good news, I mean, let's face it, the oil price sucks everywhere, but it sucks the least here, right? I will say this, too, before we get into Texit. The oil giants now are raising alarms. Shell, Total, their CEOs, and others are warning the energy crisis is just getting ready to get very, very critical in Europe. So like I said, we're better off. The Europeans, they're saying that get ready. There is going to be extreme shortages in the energy markets all over Europe and Asia. Japan's prime minister asking the Internal Energy Agency to consider an additional release of crude stockpiles, right? They're already listen, that won't help. Right now, they're releasing 400 million barrels. We only can release 750,000 barrels at a time, that a day. That's the most we can do. If the reserves were full, we could do 1 million because it's close to the top. Now they got to, it's not close, so you got to pump it up. It doesn't come out as fast. Southeast Asia will be the first to get burnt. Then they said Northeast Asia and then into Europe as we get into April. So this is, again, guys, we haven't even really, I hate to say it, this is probably the easy part. The easy part, the easy button of this war is about over. Something has to change come Monday morning, and if it doesn't change come Monday morning, then I think we're going to start seeing not just crude prices, but all, gas, diesel, jet fuel, fertilizer. By the way, there is a mad panic for fertilizer across the globe breaking this morning. So I think this tells you that most of the countries don't believe there's going to be this magical ceasefire. But in any event, we'll have to wait and see. It's a crappy position to be in, right? Because we don't know.
Yeah.
Is this thing, are we going to take our ball and go home? Are we going to say, hey, we put a proposal out on the table. Now, it's a proposal we know they'll never accept. Well, obviously, that's a non-starter, and I will tell you the 15 items on the list, there's no way this current regime in Iran is going to accept that. We kind of knew that, so I don't know, Jason.
I'm looking at oil at $89, and it just
in the U.S., yes, how 101 on Brent.
Right.
Look at this oil separation between the two now.
This is a big enough emergency that oil should not be under $100. How much depressionary pressure is there on the world economy? How much recessionary and depressionary pressure is there that they can't even get oil above $100 when you're shutting off the Strait of Hormuz, right? I mean, it's incredible, Joe. I mean, I know other parts of the world are feeling it a little more, but I mean, we can only go off our own history. I mean, look, when the first Gulf War started, oil shot up, right? When there's been other pressures in the region in the past, oil would shoot up during the housing crash. I mean, that's not even oil driven. The housing crash drove oil prices up way above where it is now. So, I mean, to me, Joe, the war can't end if they can't get real solid. We got that one spike. Remember the one spike? We had the one spike. It went to 120, and then it came right back down below 100. I mean, how much sell-off? I mean, Warren Buffett, I keep hearing it, he's still sitting. I see pictures. People have these pictures in their videos. He's sitting on a throne of cash. Warren Buffett's still sitting on his cash. Well, that's deflationary. Holding cash means you're expecting markets to go down and things are going to be recessionary. And they can't even get gold. Oil not even, it's just trying to tickle around 90. That's crazy, Joe.
Well, and again, I think now it's at, you talked it up to 90 now.
That's 90.
But
yeah.
I think a lot of that is basically, right, Israel and the United States saying, oh my gosh, we're going to have an agreement. And then the markets, right, sell off. And then Iran says, there's no agreement, right? And then the markets come back. But, yeah, I think, I'll just say this. After next week, going into next week, I don't think it's going to matter. Right now, you can come out with news to fool the market, at least the paper market. And again, I want to stress paper market. That has no bearing. The price that I'm quoting for oil is not what people are paying.
Maybe the glut is way bigger than we thought it was, too. Once again,
I think it was.
Maybe the glut of oil. It's really hard to get all that oil out of those tankers. Get all that. I mean, they're flushing as much oil as they could flush, right, Joe?
Hundreds of millions, and then look at. We're going to take our oil reserves down to the lowest level the government allows. Right, so already. We were like half full already because right now Donald Trump was going to refill the reserve. He didn't. He said he was. And then, of course, Congress didn't give us the money to fill it.
Well, if the reserve is sitting out in the ocean, what do you need a reserve for?
Right. Well, you know what? Probably right. So we're going to find out. I think next week's going to be unless something happens between now and then. But when we get back, we're going to shift gears. We're going to go into Texas. We got a lot of new information for everybody. So stay tuned.
Yes, ma'am. Back.
800-951-0592. Patriot Radio News Hour. $20 gold pieces right now. 4,650. Rolls of U.S. Silver Eagles, 1,655, as we try to figure out what the heck is right, not right. We'll have to wait a little longer, but 877-536-1360, the text line is open as we update everybody on KXXT-Coin. First, some good news. We are now fully verified on CoinMarketCap, which just says CoinMarketCap basically just says, hey, this is a legitimate project. Kind of a big deal. Before the verification, CoinMarketCap, they follow like 9,000 cryptos. So it's a lot. We were ranked 4,200 and something, right? Way down the list. We are now right around 800, a little over 800, 815, something like that, on CoinMarketCap. And, of course, right, we've said all along, think we could be a top 10 crypto. I mean, obviously, 800's not 100, it's not 10. But essentially, we went from page 43 to page 9, right? And if we can get the value of the coin to be 40 cents instead of 20 cents, then we'll probably be like on page 3, right? Because each page is 100. But it's a big deal, right? And it's something that, believe it or not, the call last night that all of you can listen to, by the way. Go to YouTube, look up KXXT-Coin. It's on Telegram. It's posted on our social media. 104 weeks Bobby's been doing that call, so 2 years. So this technically we start year 3 of KXXT-Coin. Obviously, we have the whole cease and desist and with the state of Texas, and then, of course, the SEC. So a big update there as well. So as some of you are aware, the SEC and Congress now have provided some clarity as to cryptos. Here's the things. The lawyers have gone through it all, looked through it all. There's not a single thing that is negative in what the SEC and Congress are doing. Not one. Matter of fact, the lawyers called it a home run. So the things that they did provide clarity on all strengthen the case for KXXT-Coin. That doesn't change the fact that there are open investigations, right? The SEC, right when the cease and desist letter was sent from Texas, did send, Bobby a subpoena to say, hey, tell us what you're doing, right? We want to, what's going on here. Right now, the lawyers are talking to the SEC, and truly, the word back is they really don't know anything about Texacoin. But hey, these guys raised $150 million. Let's check it out. We are going to meet with them in early April. Well, I don't want to say early April. April. We're going to meet with the SEC in April. I think that's a good sign. I think at that point, the thought is they're going to lay it all out for the SEC in hopes that the SEC says, oh, okay, we get it. And you know what? You're right. You guys are good. Don't know, right? When it gets into when you get into lawyers, you get into all this stuff, right? Most of the time, anyway, the lawyers, when the lawyer's telling you, hey, yeah, you're looking good here, and I've got some experience with this. It sucks. I haven't got to go through it. I've won every time along the way, but I still got to go through it. But right now, the lawyers are pretty darn confident. They did subpoena, Bobby's wife, Bobby's daughter, Bobby's dad, a couple of the Lone Star Rangers got a subpoena as well. And that's just part of the process. And like I said, we'll see what happens. I mean, April starts next week. So hopefully that goes very well. We'll wait and see. We'll know more after that. But as far as what the SEC has been guiding and what the government has been passing, it actually is helping us versus hurting us. So that's a positive. But that's where we're at. No one's really even worried about the Texas thing. That's going to be in August. That will take care of itself. As far as Layer 2 goes, that is proceeding. They are going to be very tight-lipped about it. They obviously, what's happening in the Middle East sucks because we were working with a Dubai company to do some software stuff that we need. We're actually hoping that's still going to be the case, but we have a backup plan that's being put in place. And that's about the only information I have on that. As far as Layer 3, right, the Iskander project, all systems go. It will still be Middle East based, but it may not be in Dubai because we don't know what's going to happen with the war. But things are on schedule. I would say not this week, maybe next week or the week after. For those of you that are in Iskander, it'll start showing up on your dashboard. You'll start seeing. And just remember, you are accumulating a bunch of coins and have been for quite a while. Right now, the Texacoin rewards were tiny because we had a bunch of miners in Iskander, one seat. It's somewhere, so people are saying somewhere between 8 to 10 coins a day for a seat in Iskander. Something else that was interesting. The polo event that was supposed to happen in Dubai has been moved to Miami, of all places. I'll tell you about that when we get back. 800-951-0592, Patriot Radio News Hour final segment here. But wrapping up some of this Texas stuff, later this week, we will be going in and starting production where we will start mining Texacoin, Iskander coin, Dogecoin, and Litecoin. That is a big milestone. And we are also replacing our smaller server with a server powerhouse that we believe will not only allow us to mine all 4 coins and keep the mining on track, but should allow us to mine much, much closer to maximum capacity. What does that mean? Well, for KXXT coin and Iskander, that means more coins a day, right? That, remember, the KXXT, we can get 120,000 a day. Right now, the last 4 days, we've averaged maybe 95. Before that, you guys know we were in the 80s. That's a big difference. That makes a big difference in the amount of coins you're getting every day. Instead of getting 0.3 of a coin or 0.4 of a coin for every 100 hash power, now I'm going to get 0.5 or 0.6. That is significant. That is going to be coming later this week. It is a big step in the right direction. And as far as containers, right, they're all starting to land now. 2 more of the containers have arrived in Texas, and the last 2 are on their way. Remember, they're big. You got the container itself, then you got the cooling stuff above it. I mean, it's a big process, but they are starting to land now, and the hope is, hey, over the next 90 days, 120 days, we find the right place to put them and have these up and operational. And the best part is we're a lot more motivated to do that because when we get this last piece done here and we get the new server, we get the 4-prong mining, the mines will be profitable. And that's kind of the big deal, right? So you're not as excited to get a mine up and running, knowing, well, guys, I'm going to spend that money, and then I'm going to lose the second we turn it on. We're going to lose more money. That is a game changer for us. And the cool part is there's other coins that we can mine, like Bell Coin and a few others. We'll have that ability. And, of course, we know we want to have mines in other parts of the world. We won't have to go out and do anything different. This sets us up to mine. We can mine 7, 8, 9, 10 coins with this system. So some positive things happening. Like I said, though, if you got any questions, call down here to Patriot. We'll be happy to answer them. Another meeting in Colorado tonight. That'll be the last one in Colorado for a few weeks. But again, when I hear something, you guys will hear it. If you don't hear it from me, then it's not a reality.